ThunderCats!
Thunder! Thunder! Thunder!
Hey, how are you? I'm Larry Kenny, the voice of Lion-O, here today for my good friends Ryan and David. You may know if you listen to the podcast Radical Retro Rewind.
I love it. All of it.
Radical Retro Rewind.
She even looks older.
Likes my art collection?
Yeah, we've heard that one before, Mummy.
What is it? I heard him shout.
Oh yeah, ThunderCats! Ho!
Who you calling a hoe? Welcome back, Bunglers, to a new episode of ThunderCats Reviews and Recap, brought to you by the Radical Retro Rewind podcast. As always, it is your host, Ryan and David, and we are here for our special holiday bonus episode, David. Happy holidays! Happy holidays. I'm here with our new sponsor, Sprite Zero Sugar Winter Spiced Cranberry. I'm also chugging that down with a sugar-fed Red Bull, also one of our new sponsors.
Take them all. Take
Please.
them all. We will gladly put the ThunderCats.
That's my only wish this year. Santa, that's my only wish this year.
And if for our listeners who might have crossed over to our other show, we did a mistaken lyric episode. And I mentioned that Britney Spears song. And I thought she said that in the beginning that would it be wrong for taking a pee instead of taking a peek at Santa?
Oh my God.
Okay, let's talk about where ThunderCats is currently.
There's a few things going on. So we haven't had a new episode for a few reasons. One, I did have a small kitchen fire.
Literally a fire.
Yeah, fire. So that kind of, I had to do some cleanup work, let's just say. Everything is fine. Everyone is fine. There's no structural damage, just some smoke damage issues that we had to take care of. So that kind of put a pin in recording anything new for a little bit. That's taken care of right now. So we're good and everyone's safe, yes. And nothing happened. So, here we are with that. We're very blessed. Nothing's truly bad happened. And then, lo and behold, our good friend Sean Buddha.
Yes, Sean McKeon. Yeah, Buddha. Hi, Sean.
Hi, Sean.
He's a fan of Captain Cracker, so we had established that when Cracker came back, Sean was going to come back for some Cracker action.
So that sounds a little freaky for Cracker action. From Cracker action. Cracker action. And his book is still doing very, very well, which I'm really excited about. And he was supposed to be on the show. He had to reschedule. He had some things going on as well. So that also was another stumbling block for us. Obviously, the holidays, we're doing some traveling. Ryan will be doing some traveling as well.
Yes.
And here we are that we realize that there is a milestone that is coming up for the ThunderCats in January that would basically all of the stars would align. If we wait, we would get Sean.
Yes. Episode 100.
It would be episode 100, and it would coincide with the 40th anniversary of ThunderCats. So as much as it pains us not to give you new content to all of our bunglers, I want you to live in the memory. You'll always be there.
And we just thought with the traveling and honestly to get some kind of episodes out for December, because I will be gone for about a few weeks and there's no way I could edit and record and things like that. So we thought, you know what? Let's end this year on a fun note. We're going to do a ThunderCats holiday Christmas celebration. But also, if we waited, got Sean, did episode 100, come back in the new year, and then celebrate that 40th, the beginning of the 40th. New Year's, we will go back to normal after this 100th episode, and then, the show will go as normal. So today we will have our holiday chat. David is bringing us his version of a ThunderCats Twas the Night Before Christmas. We're going to talk about some gift options for gifting each ThunderCat. And then you will get 2 ThunderCats inspired songs brought to you exclusively by the Radical Retro Rewind podcast. Money and AI will bring you magic, holiday magic.
I will say, depending on the amount of money you have, not much, will actually dictate the quality.
Oh, yes. Okay, yeah, you're not getting the Wicked musical.
Yes, you are not looking to the westward skies.
You are no.
Nope.
But you know what? I am glad with the lyrics and stuff I was able to come up with and tweak, and you will hear that throughout this episode. But David, we asked on Instagram and we also asked on YouTube what might be some holiday questions or comments that Bunglers had. We got one response, and we are so happy for that. That was from Carissa. And now, David, Carissa has been commenting on YouTube. She's adorable. She asks such sweet questions. She says, "Happy holidays! And do the ThunderCats celebrate the holidays? Do they have their own special way of celebrating? I'm just curious." So, David, of course, on canon-wise, what we've been presented on the 1985 series so far, there has not been an official holiday episode per se. But what we could gather is, and what you'll probably hear in the songs that we come up with, it's really, I'm picturing Snarf in the kitchen. He is baking those candy fruit pies, candy fruit desserts. I'm picturing the episode where, again, Snarf, and you remember you were saying how sweet this is. He was making applesauce for a celebration because they were working late and getting, I want to say it was like the feliner done or something like. I really do believe it would be very stripped down. You know, Snarf is making some kind of treats. There might be some kind of songs of Thundera's past that could be possibly sung or shared.
Oh my god, wouldn't it be cool if out of nowhere, like, Tigra whips out some sort of a musical instrument and starts playing it? Like, something like that would be kind of cool. Like, and they like whisper, "He never takes that out."
It's the old string instrument from Thundera. It survived the explosion.
Some sort of harp or something, and they sing or Panthro's a little tipsy and he starts like singing like a bar tune.
What is he? Dorothy and the Golden Girls at the Rusty Anchor?
Might be this. It might be. Listen, it might be the Star Wars Christmas special over again. Is Chitara stumbling over the control panel?
What did you say? We did this episode. This was our 50th on our regular show, Radical.
If you want to hear a pretty good one for Christmas, a funny one, and considering that a Star Wars Christmas special is so out of the ordinary and bizarre to begin with,
infamous.
ThunderCats' interstellar space and all, like, this would be very tied into.
Famously, the whole cast.
It was snow. I said something. It wasn't. It was snowing already for her, but it was cocaine.
It was snowing already, but also C-3PO, you better cut up these lines. Carrie Fisher, we love you.
Oh my god, I just saw her recently on some kind of award thing. She was like talking about like George Lucas and Harrison Ford, and she said, "Harrison Ford always gets nervous when I come up to speak." She goes, "I remember when I met him, he was sort of iconic or something. I was 19, he was 63. That's when she made the comment about Princess Armadillo, whatever. She changed her hairdo every time she walked into a room. She had a different hair. I didn't even get to wear a bra. She was funny.
I used to read her books. She is hysterical, David. She is hysterical.
She's hysterical.
Oh, Carrie, God bless your soul.
But didn't you already see? I remember an episode watching Snarf put a piece of candy fruit in his mouth, and it looked like a candy cane.
Candy cane. And we just talked about this on that mail episode, David. So funny when David actually, he had a lot going on, probably that fire at the time. And we were talking about, again, what is candy fruit? Is it peppermint? Can you pair that with, because David knows this, I've been wanting to come up with a Snarf recipe for the Bunglers for years. I wanted to come out with Snarf's candy fruit pie recipe. We don't even know what these fruits taste like. We don't know if the candy cane is actually peppermint. Would it pair with?
Would it taste like pears?
Is it peaches? What? Yeah, what are these things? What are they? Are they mangoes? Mango. Mango. I'm thinking the curly straws, which is another thing that Zach always brings up too, that the curly straws come out when they have the celebrations, their party straws. When we get to Roar, which was the comedy series of ThunderCats, there are 2 holiday episodes. And a matter of fact, it is season 1, episode 51 and 52. They are right after each other. And they are the final episodes of ThunderCats Roar before cancellation. In the first Thanksgiving Thanksgiving, Tigra is furious after the other Thundercats eat the last of his Thunderian ingredients. To make up to him, they go hunting for substitutes on Third Earth to show him the food on their new planet is just as delicious as the food they had back on their old home. And then Mandora saves Christmas. Santa Claus is on the run from Mandora. Can the Thundercats help him get off Third Earth without getting caught? And can Santa Claus teach them a little something about this weird new holiday Christmas? The only thing I remember about this, David, is Lion-O in a ballerina outfit doing the Nutcracker suite. This is Thundercats Roar. This is Thundercats Roar. When we get to that, I can't wait because we will actually have an official Thundercats holiday. The Thunderian ingredients, oh my god, I don't remember exactly, but I cannot imagine them lasting too long if they actually did have ingredients left over from Thundera.
That just, you know what, that's like a continuity thing. Did he hold on to those ingredients or were they there for a very short period of time and he still had stuff?
To make this a little more festive for everybody, I thought, what would the Thundercats, David, give each other for presents? And of course, we know the holiday season is not about gift giving, but you know what? Let's have fun with it.
Oh, you're gonna, okay. All right, you're gonna.
I came up with some of these, but please feel free to, if you could think of something else you could give
Chitara Gold.
Well, you know, I did try to be a little serious, but also I did add a little comedy in there too. So, Lion-O, honestly, I'm sorry, this is so boring for you, Lion-O, but I wrote sword polish and a Wolo massage I thought he might need from all of the...
I volunteer to give tribute.
You're taking money from this Wolo. How dare you? No, just... do you think the Wolos would give massages? I just thought that would be a nice thing for them to do.
Are you telling me that my massage is not the best, Lion-O? Wolos do not lie. Wolos do not give happy endings, Lion-O.
Did you not leave a 5-star review? Lion-O! Tigra, I wrote a cat scratch stretcher, similar to the Four Winds, where Tigra could stretch, because even though he was being pulled to his limit, per se, he did say that was the best stretch of his life. I also thought maybe a new Third Earth plant to examine.
Okay. Like a poinsettia?
Poinsettia, don't give it to Snarf. Panthro, a country retreat, because he forgot what the countryside looks like. Send Panthro to a country retreat, and I wrote old mutant technology schematics that he could also dissect, that somehow maybe they stole it. Like, Panthro, look at this technology, like, examine. I feel like he would love to get into their stuff, because when he was in Sky Tomb, I think he even made a comment about things. Chitara, a new cape. I thought maybe a necklace. You know, like David said, I wonder what material the necklace would be made out of. The Inflamer is now back in business. The Inflamer's jewelry exchange. Forging new jewelry.
Starlight, star bright. Give Chitara gold tonight.
The price of payment poem. Kitten Cat, I wrote a tent from when they run away, because you know it's any moment, and some macrame from Willa, you know, because Willa is still selling on her Etsy shop the macrame that she is making.
What did he say?
What was that order? 10 Thunderian gloves, a Snarf Jaga commemorative coin set from New Thundera, and David a washing machine. Give Snarf a washing machine.
So what you're saying is a poor brute, two brute men and a washing board for the outside? That's what...
No, they have to be able to come up with a washing machine. If they could build all of these flying contraptions, they can give a washing machine to Snarf, so he doesn't have to hang them on the line. Snarfer, a gift card to Robert Roberto's Mexican restaurant. I think that's definitely needed.
Christmas tamales, yes, yes.
Bengali.
My number.
I was gonna say you. I am the gift.
Unwrap me.
So, David, I wrote he needs... this might actually help you. He needs something to get out his frustrations on, because we know he is very, he wants to get... So I wrote the Burbles Wrecking Room.
Oh, I like this.
They might have one of those rooms that you could, throw things
break
around.
Stuff, break old equipment and stuff? Okay.
Yes.
Maybe he can go to the graveyard where all the robots and stuff that Mumm-Ra brought back to life.
I wrote that also that might be good for Mumm-Ra too, though, that, get out that frustrations of her being left. I think the two of them should go. But also, tickets for her and Mumm-Ra to see the local performance of Wicked by the Warrior Maidens. Because I thought she might want to go out with Mumm-Ra. Their friendship and also a new weapon for Mumm-Ra. Linkso, a new pet sandy-tailed Coochie, whatever the hell that name is of that pet that disappeared, and some kind of wrist massager, because I think he's always typing. He might get some carpal tunnel on that braille board. Mumm-Ra, I thought he might give out some holiday bonuses to the mutants and the lunatics, but I think he's going to go from the throne room. He's going to take them in and each get a small diamond in a lump of a coal. So you have to work for the diamond that's inside the coal. I wrote the Inflamer needs some heat in his life. I couldn't think of any, off the top of your head, anything you think that any of these heroes and cats would need and use in our upcoming adventure? They are going to New Thundera.
No, I don't know. It'd be kind of cool. It would actually have been kind of cool and a cool arc to the show if they had gotten, each ThunderCat got brand new weapons. And it actually would have been cool if when they went on New Thundera that even the Sword of Omens got some sort of upgrade, like even the ThunderCat symbol or something, some new power, even though it always has about 1,000 different types of powers.
I was going to say, you wanted to do even more, David?
Like even
more?
like even the crest on the sword changed or something a little different.
Because it gets the power up of being on Thundera.
Something interesting could have been. So maybe that. Yeah, I like some of your stuff. I think definitely. I feel like all the stuff that they would have gotten as a gift would be tailored to their like unique
abilities or
like
personalities.
Things like Bengali would get like something to do with like carpentry because that's his thing, or blacksmithing because that's his thing. Maybe Tigra would get in a book about from Third Earth, a unique book about the land. Like a book that's like a rare book that was found someplace with those people that were going to keep Lion-O to read to them.
Oh yes. Under Earth people, whatever the hell that was.
Things like that. And I think all of the ThunderCats would be gracious and be so happy with anything they got.
Oh, yes.
Not selfish, not whatever. We
not
laughed about
at all.
Chitara, I would have gotten her some gold and maybe a little picture of Wizra for her side table, a painting.
On the nightstand, a nightstand mirror. One of those makeup ones that magnify. I could really see in there. See into Wizra.
I would get her an interdimensional portal to get to Wizra for the holiday.
I'm just thinking about this. Luna dressing up as an elf.
Help me!
After this short break and a ThunderCats song for you, we will be right back with more ThunderCats Holiday Special.
Gather around the table under bright cat's lair lights. Burbles bring the sweet fruits with delight. Warrior maidens smiling with their secret tea, baking up the goodies, gonna make it for you and me.
Snarfs is in the kitchen with his furry paws, leaping through the cupboards without any pause, mixing up the batter, adding bits of love, treats for every battle when the day is done.
Candy fruit pie sparkles in their eyes. ThunderCats are ready for a tasty surprise. Holiday delight in every bite. Fighting Mumm-Ra, but we feast tonight. From the forest deep, sharing ancient recipes amidst the trees we keep. Slide and some sugar in a cup, while unicorns provide the magic crops. All of Third Earth has helped tonight. All of Third Earth has helped tonight.
Get with it, make a dough rise. Gotta have this ready when my cats arrive. Pies and tarts, they're winning hearts. Slow, it's time to start.
Candy fruit pie sparkles in their eyes. ThunderCats are ready for a tasty surprise. Holiday delight in every bite. Fighting Mumm-Ra, but we feast tonight. Feast tonight. There's a willow with some holiday skies. G.O.G. I hope they're hungry tonight. The snowman is bringing All of Third Earth is filled with cheer. This holiday turned out bright. Nothing like a Snarf baking all night.
So, David, this is the time we are always so thankful for our bunglers. You know, every year, Thanksgiving, the holidays, the new year, it's always a time to reflect on the year past. And honestly, all of the milestones. Not only has this podcast hit, but we have picked up a ton of new bunglers this year. And it's amazing. I think it's fantastic that they're joining us while we're still doing new episodes of 1985 ThunderCats before we go to 11, whatever, Roar. I feel like we're used to saying this, and our bunglers who've been here forever probably like, yes, okay, we get it. We appreciate us. But for any new listeners, for anybody who's just come along the way, randomly hearing this, if you take the time to listen to us weekly, bi-weekly, if you listen to both of our shows, it's appreciative, especially ThunderCats fans. We've always said this. You are so vocal. David, again, has said this a million times. The community, the friendships, the worldwide friendships. Just thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And this is the perfect time because as we start a new year, it's wonderful to reflect, highlight, or things that have really touched us this year. And David was just telling me off screen, he received a message from one of our bunglers.
Yes, Daniel had reached out to me and we talked briefly. He actually wanted to wish me a happy Thanksgiving to a fellow bungler. And I thought that was the coolest thing. We chatted just for a little bit and it was just really great. It's just, we shared certain sentiments about ThunderCats, the franchise, and our feelings about it, and just in general, like what it meant to us a little bit. And honestly, it's just really wonderful to, again, like-minded people and, just feeling our experience is not necessarily unique. And that's okay because that's what brings us together. That's what I like about it. Our experience is very similar to a lot of other people's experiences listening to and watching this franchise and the podcast. And it just always makes me feel good. So I can't say enough about that, but we have so many people that support us, support the channel. So, it's just great. Always a good feeling. We have so many people that it's just nice to know that even though I was going to say when I feel like breaking out into like somewhere out there from like American Tail, somewhere. Even though we're under this great big, it helps sky. To know we're underneath this great big sky. We're all connected, and I think that's a wonderful thing. And that's always been a message for us, and always will be. And it'll be a broken record until forever. Thank you.
And the love for ThunderCats continue 40 years later. David, 40 years ago.
I don't even want to know. I'm getting old.
Well, it marks my official 40th. Like, that's looming across my head now. ThunderCats, She-Ra, and Ryan. Ooh, honestly, though, I'll take that legacy. Golden Girls 2, I want to say, came out that year. Now, that's a year.
So does Blanche. So does Rose.
40 years later, can you imagine telling these creators and this cast that 40 years later, this show is going to still be making merchandise, toys, comic, you're going to go to conventions? What a legacy.
At the end of the day, for me, a life lived well is probably the greatest life of all, because you can say that we laugh about this. We laugh and we sing and we do silly things, but it's all in love. And ultimately our message is always that of joy, I hope, and always of getting something moral out of it and just community. If any of the content creators, whether they wrote the score or they wrote a script or they were a voice actor and they ever listened to our little humble podcast and they realize that other people, it still means something, or they're at a Comic-Con sort of a thing or whatever, and they realize that this still means something to somebody, that to me is a life well lived, that you contributed in some way to bringing joy to somebody, bringing happiness to somebody, bringing a sense of community, values, morals, whatever you want to take out of this. It doesn't have to be, our little sappy thing, even just entertaining somebody and saying, wow, I really enjoyed that as a kid. I was a latchkey kid and I always look forward to, I was home alone and I was able to get 30 minutes and I didn't think about being home alone. I was able to watch this and enjoy anything, whatever you get out of it. That's still to somebody, I feel, when I create something, that's like how when people reach out to us and say, hey, I really laughed at that episode. You guys are so, silly or whatever. It means something. So for me, I would feel the same way, except for they're on a grander scale, obviously.
Like, when we say Lynn Lipton, we mean Lynn Lipton, because we're still talking about these performances. Honestly, if we went through this and the voices were monotone and Lion-O, it might not be as memorable. But the fact that these people brought us Lion-O, Lynn Lipton, of course, we say right away. All the actors. So yes, I really do hope that they know that. And of course, Bunglers, we just love you. So, with that being said, I don't want to delay it any longer.
Oh my goodness, this should be interesting. I hope I got it all.
We should mention Twas the Night Before Christmas. This poem is as old as
tale as old as time. True as it can be. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if that's the Mandela effect or I always had an abridged version, but I didn't realize that this was as long as it was.
No, there has to be a shorter version.
Apparently, I went with the oldest version ever made that was went on for a year. So I hope you appreciate it all.
And David thought he had a little more time for this, but I figured we needed to get this out because it's ticking. So this is just all for fun, but Bunglers, I was hysterical laughing. So I will be muting my microphone, and I'm leaving this to David. So goodbye.
Oh my God. It was the night before Christmas, and all through Cat's lair, not a creature was stirring, except for Chitara. She was doing her hair. The sword of omens was hung by Lion-O's bed with care, in hopes that Mumm-Ra would not show up there. The kittens were all nestled, all snug in their beds, while visions of Kudai danced in their heads. And Snarf in a kerchief, and Snarfer in a cap, had just settled down for a long winter's nap. When out on the lawn, there rose such a clatter, I went to the control room to see what was the matter. Away to the screen I flew, there was a crash. I turned on the cat eye beams in a flash. The sky cut a reflecting the moonlight to the new fallen snow, gave the luster of midday to the objects below. But what to my wondering eyes should appear but Mumm-Ra in drag, Mammut, and a sled with a bunch of flying dead reindeer. Mumm-Ra was so lively and quick, I grabbed a mirror and said, that'll do the trick. More rapid than Chilla, speeding they came, and then he cursed out our names. Damn Lion-O, damn Panthro, damn Tigra, those miserable kittens, and Chitara too. I hate you, Lynxo, Pumaira, and Bengali, you're through. To the top of the lair, to the top of the wall, now dash away, dash away. I must trap them all. As leaves that before the wild hurricane flew, when they met with an obstacle, mount to the sky they flew. So up to the lair top, Mumm-Ra he flew, with the sleigh full of weapons, and the mutants too. And then in a ruckus I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each dead little hoof. As I drew in my head, down the chimney Mumm-Ra came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur, from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of weapons he flung on his back, and he looked like a Wolo just opening his pack. His eyes, how they burned red. His drag name was Mary. His cheeks were like roses, but he was no Holly Berry. His mucusy little mouth was drawn like a bow. I drew the sword of omens and said, "ThunderCats, ho!" The Gregory McGregor pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke encircled his head like a wreath. He had a thin face and no belly. His bones shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was decrepit and brittle, a right crusty old elf. And I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. And a wink of his red eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had something to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to attacking instead, and destroyed all the stockings. Then he turned with a jerk, and he laid his finger aside his non-existent nose, and he gave a nod, and up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sled, he gave his team a whistle, and away they went to the Black Pyramid like a missile. And I heard him say as he flew out of sight, "I hate you, ThunderCats, I hate you this day, and I hate you every night."
My God, Bunglers, Bunglers, Bunglers. Hope you enjoyed that. Matter of fact, David, we got one more song for their enjoyment.
Ooh, what is it? What is it?
Snarf Snarfs in the kitchen baking candy fruit pie. Warrior maidens hang the stars in the sky. Burbles bringing gifts, wrapped with care. Lionel's laughter echoing everywhere. Ho, 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 Christmas time in the lair. ThunderCats spreading joy everywhere. Mumm-Ra's plot won't ruin our cheer. Loyalty and friendship we keep near. The Thunder Tank's got a wreath with a bow. Panthers hoping for some holiday snow. Tiger studying Christmas past, while Wily Kid and Cat do a dance. Even the mutants feel some Christmas charm. Slytherin and Monkey can do no harm. Jackalman sneaks a peek at the feast. Vultureman's glad he's included at least. Chitara feels the holiday glow, 'cause she just found some mistletoe. Bengali's carving reindeer all night. Linkso's carols warm us up just right. Ho, 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 Christmas time in the lair. ThunderCats spreading joy everywhere. Mumm-Ra's plot won't ruin our cheer. Loyalty and friendship we keep near. ThunderCats gather round the tree. Snarf's got his apron on with glee. Candy fruit treats in the ovens glow. Christmas cheer starting to show. ThunderCats. Ho, 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 Christmas time in the lair. ThunderCats spreading joy everywhere. Mumm-Ra's plot won't ruin our cheer. Loyalty and friendship we keep near.
As a special treat, if you wanted to listen to those songs separately, there'll be a separate audio track released with the two songs. A little EP, I guess, in our own way, in the podcast form, but audio for you. We'll also have them up on YouTube if you want to listen to those amazing songs. Amazing. Just simply amazing.
Brought to you for $9.99.
I wish it was only $9.99. Oh my God.
Oh.
I'm telling you, trying to make this song, make those lyrics come out right.
He used all of the savings from the Radical Retro Rewind podcast account, all $8.99 from the checks that we've received in royalties.
You know, one day, David, and it's going to be these songs, these ThunderCat Bungler songs. So, Bunglers, we hope that we made your holiday just a little bit brighter. Look forward to episode 100 of ThunderCats. Technically, it would have been our 100th episode of the podcast too, but David, we started doubling up. So, our ThunderCats episodes are less than 100 now. That's because, 2 an episode. So, technically, the 100th episode of ThunderCats, our 100th episode of doing them, because we have 2 in one episode. Does that make any sense?
Yeah. Our listeners know we were incoherent at times, so that's okay. They get it.
Okay.
Just remember, January brings our friend Sean, ThunderCats
Captain
author,
Cracker.
Captain Cracker, 100th episode, 40 years of ThunderCats. Ryan's getting old, and and a new year. So that just remember all of those things. But just remember to get yourself a nice hot apple cider with a piece of candy fruit in it. Sit by the fire and listen to "'Twas the Night Before Christmas."
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Of course, if you still listen to our normal show, Radical Retro Rewind, we will be having next week Scrooged, and then the following week, because it's technically a break, but you're getting Dark Dark Shadows episode 4.
Well, to all of my bunglers, in the spirit of the holidays, you can go back and listen to any of our holiday episodes on the Radical Retro Rewind. We've done claymations, we've done Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer,
Muppet Christmas Carol,
we've done
He-Man and She-Ra. You might like that if you like ThunderCats.
So you can always do that.
Don't eat too much candy fruit. Stay away from Mumm-Ra's HOA, and just thank you all. Thank you all.
I know. I feel like I want to be like everybody, like Kostas, Mitesh, Daniel, everybody, like anybody, but you know who you are, and we really appreciate you. And again, if you don't celebrate Christmas and you celebrate something else, and you don't celebrate anything, just know that it doesn't matter, because we appreciate you just in general. And it doesn't take a holiday for us to appreciate our listeners. It doesn't take a holiday for us to know how blessed we are in many ways. So thank you so much. We'll see you on the other end. Our ThunderCats, our bunglers, we'll see you in 2025. For the regular podcast, we're doing Scrooged and that Dark Shadows that was recorded almost a year ago next month.
ThunderCats? Ho, 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 ho.
Are you calling me a Christmas hoe? If the stocking fits, wear it.